Today we're going to talk about Tasmiyah. Tasmiyah means to mention the name of Allah. Also, Basmala. Basmala is another name to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Arabs, they call Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the phrase, al-Basmala. Okay, just those of you who didn't know. Also known as Tasmiyah. Tasmiyah just means to mention the name of Allah. Okay, so let's understand from our book by Sheikh Ibn Balban that we've been reading, the brief little textbook, Akhsar al-Mukhtasarat, which actually means the summary of the summaries. So it's the summary of the summaries. Akhsar al-Mukhtasarat. So he says about Tasmiyah, وَالتَّسْمِيَةُ وَاجِبَةٌ فِي وُضُوءٍ وَغُسْلٍ وَتَيَمُّمٍ. Okay, so remember he's a Hanbali scholar, so he is saying that Tasmiyah is wajib, meaning it is a part of the rukun, meaning without it, wudu is incomplete. Wudu is invalid without Tasmiyah. This is what Ibn Balban is saying. Let's break this down, where he's coming from and what are some of the other opinions, inshallah ta'ala. Interesting topic? Okay, alhamdulillah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, and this is narrated in a lot of books. So Imam al-Suyuti brings this hadith that we're going to read right now, that you see on the screen, hopefully. I don't know if you see. No, it doesn't show. It's frozen. It's okay, malish. He calls this a mutawatir hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, لا وضوء لمن لم يذكر اسم الله عليه. There is no wudu for someone who doesn't mention the name of Allah before it. Okay, this is a hadith. So mutawatir hadith, according to Imam al-Suyuti. However, other scholars disagree, that there is a person in there and there's other people, that it's a da'if hadith, generally speaking. Some scholars consider it authentic, some scholars consider it not authentic. This is why there's a difference of opinion. So Ibn Balban in his text, what did he say? This is wajib, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that wudu is not valid without mentioning the name of Allah. And since this hadith, some say it's authentic, some say it's not authentic, there's ikhtilaf. Clear? Okay. But let's understand, is it a good practice to say Bismillah? Okay. So for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, how does Surah Al-Rahman start? Ar-Rahman, first ayah. Okay? Ayah number 1. What is the last ayah? Ayah 78. What does it say? How does Surah Al-Rahman end? Huh? Tabarak isma rabbika dhul jalali wal ikram. What does it mean? Blessed, Tabarak, blessed is the name of your Lord, the one full of majesty and honor. So Surah Al-Rahman is teaching us Ar-Rahman, this name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is blessed. Tabarak isma rabbika dhul jalali wal ikram. So the ending and the beginning, they kind of connect. Not kind of connect, they connect. They're telling you, and it's the message. What is the message? The name of Allah is blessed. What does blessing mean? What does barakah mean? Tabarak isma means the name has a lot of blessings in it. What does barakah mean? Barakah means ziyadatun fi khair. It means increase in good things. How much increase? Exponential increase. Increase so much you can't even imagine. That's what barakah means. Barakah means when we say barakallahu feek, Allah put barakah in your work and in you and in your life and in your family and in your children. Allah yubarik feek. That's what we mean. May Allah give you so much of everything that you don't even expect it's going to increase so much. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran teaches us, mentioning just the name of Allah before something, that something, whatever you do, will have barakah in it. Okay? It's amazing, right? Hopefully after this, you will never not mention Bismillah, right? Okay, so this is what it means. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, this is also a da'if hadith, كل كلام أو أمر ذي بال لا يفتح بذكر الله فهو أبتر. And another narration أقطع. That whichever thing you do that comes to your mind, but you don't open it, you don't begin it with by the name of Allah, then it is cut off. It is cut off. It is abtar or aqta. What does it mean? Cut off. Cut off from barakah. It's cut off from barakah. So if we understand Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, is it a complete sentence? It means in the name of Allah, the entirely merciful and the most merciful. Okay. We're not going to do tafsir of Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, but just general understanding. It is not a full sentence. It's not a full sentence. It's a beginning of a sentence. It's a prefix that you say, in the name of Allah, I am going to do this. In the name of Allah, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, right? So, subhanAllah, it's so beautiful. Even the Quran begins with Bismillah. The first ayah is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, according to most scholars. Or I should say, should be fair, some scholars. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is the first ayah of the Quran. Meaning, whatever we do, if we put Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim in front of it, it will automatically have barakah in it from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you are associating that action in the name of Allah. I'm going to go to sleep in the name of Allah. I'm going to eat in the name of Allah. I am going to work in the name of Allah. I'm going to start my day in the name of Allah, right? This is the power of Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So should you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before doing wudu? Yes. Do we say Bismillah? Do we mention the name of Allah before we start salah? Yes or no? 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 What does Allahu Akbar mean? Is it mentioning the name of Allah? Yes, we do. We begin the salah with the name of Allah. We should do also wudu with beginning with the name of Allah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, so Hanbali, according to Hanbali school, saying Bismillah is wajib. So much so that if you realize in the middle of your wudu you didn't say Bismillah, you have to start again with Bismillah and then do your wudu. Clear? That's Hanbali school. But all of the other schools, Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, they say it is preferred to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before the wudu. And if you don't say it, your wudu is still complete. Now Hanbalis, going back to Hanbalis, they say if you completely forget to say Bismillah before the wudu, completely forget, and you even start the salah, your wudu is fine. But if you remember in the middle, then you have to start again. Some scholars say you can start from where you can continue. Okay, and we will get to that too, inshallah. Where do some scholars get it? For example, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إِذَا أَكَلَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَذْكُرِ اسْمَ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى. If you are about to eat something, then you should mention the name of Allah. Okay? فَإِن نَسِيَ. But if you forget, أن يذكر اسم الله تعالى في أوله, like if you forget to say Bismillah in the beginning, فَلْيَقُلْ, then you say, meaning if you remember while you're eating it, if you're drinking water or you're eating something and in the middle you remember, you should say Bismillah then. But there is a special way to say Bismillah. He taught, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, say Bismillahi awwaluhu wa akhiruhu. Bismillah in the beginning of it and Bismillah at the end of it. And in another narration, Bismillahi fi awwalihi wa akhirihi. Same meaning. Same meaning. So that's where the scholars get it from. That if you remember to say Bismillah in the middle of your wudu, you say Bismillah awwaluhu wa akhiruhu, and then you continue your wudu. Okay? So far so good? Clear? So who's going to start saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before wudu? I just want to see. I thought so. Okay, now, side topic, but interesting topic which I'm going to bring to you. Who you familiar with? Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah. Okay, all right. We're bringing opinions, right? I'm teaching you fiqh from different angles, inshallah. Now we understand, by the way, before I talk about Imam al-Ghazali, we understand why some scholars say it's a must and other scholars say no, it's not a must. Because this hadith is, the question is questionable. But from the Quranic evidence and other Sunnah evidence is mentioning the name of Allah before doing anything, a good thing to do, a preferred thing to do, absolutely. So we should say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, Imam al-Ghazali. Imam al-Ghazali, in his large magnum opus, you may have heard me talk about, called Ahya Ulumuddin, his biggest marvelous achievement in his life. Later on in his life, he wrote that. It's a very, very big book. In the first book, which has 10 books inside of it, the first volume, which has 10 books inside of it, the first volume or the second volume, I forget, is Asrar al-Tahara, the secrets of purification. Secrets of purification. Long story about what that Ihya Ulumuddin is, but what I'm saying is he speaks about wudu, for example, in that chapter, and then he tells us you should do extra dhikr during your wudu, not just Bismillah. During your wudu, you should make extra azkar. Is there any evidence to sunnah in it? No, at all. No. This is his recommendation. Imam al-Ghazali, toward the end of his life, it became super important to him for a reason. I'll let you do homework on Imam al-Ghazali, why this was important to him. Toward the end of his life, it was super important to him to not just follow our deen blindly and just do the actions and rituals, but his whole focus toward the end of his life became understanding the spirituality behind your ibadah. Spirituality in everything in Islam. So everything he wanted to do extra with the focus of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his mind. Okay? You can say he sort of became a Sufi toward the end. You can say that. It's not entirely true. It's not a true statement. But I'm just trying to give you an idea. So in his wudu recommendations, and it's a detailed recommendation, he has these specific azkar. I'm going to bring you those azkar. If nothing else, you don't say them. I don't say them. There's scholars who go against saying them. I'm gonna be honest with you. They'll go totally against saying them. But is just learning about them a good thing? Absolutely. So he says, Imam al-Ghazali said, after you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you should say أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون. O Allah, I seek your refuge from the whispers of the devils, the shayateen, and I seek your refuge in you, Allah, when they present themselves. This is an ayah. These are two ayahs in Surah Al-Mu'minun. So he started with it. And inshallah, every single action, Imam al-Ghazali has a dhikr. This is just the first dhikr that he recommends that Muslims should do, saying after Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And you should face the Qibla, and you should say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and then you start washing your hands. Clear? Any questions? I don't want to go beyond this. This is it. This is the Tasmiyah. So hopefully you understand the detail now. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, ni'mah is any blessing. So having eyes, having feet, having health is ni'mah. It's a blessing. See, because we use blessing in English as the same word for both ni'mah and barakah, and that's why that's confusing, right? We use the word blessing. Unfortunately, English loses its value. The barakah means extra impact. Extra impact. In an extra positive impact. Okay. So for example, I say Bismillah and I drink a glass of water. Normal impact, what is a normal impact? My thirst is quenched for a while. Okay, normal impact. Maybe normal impact is the water does nothing, because without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's barakah, there's no quenching of the thirst even. You understand? You understand? So barakah means now if there's barakah in me just drinking water, the water is not just making my throat wet. That water is going through my body, nourishing me, and then the energy that I would get, I'm able to function better. I'm able to serve the community better. I'm able to be a better Muslim, and I starts to create these ripple positive impacts. And barakah could be limitless, right? So through me, let's say I'm able to then transmit good knowledge to somebody who is then spreading it to other people, and maybe there's 10 people, maybe there's 100 people, and those 100 people are teaching other 100 people, and barakah, just butterfly effect. You understand a butterfly effect? Have you ever heard that term? Like if the butterfly flies in Japan, then that could result in a tornado. This is the negative barakah, right? But there could be a tornado in I don't know, in the Gulf of Mexico, for example. Not tornado, but hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. You see, just one butterfly just flying its little wing can have a massive impact on weather. This is true statement, by the way. I don't know if you know this. One butterfly flying somewhere can cause a hurricane somewhere else. That's how impactful little things are. So that's what the meaning of barakah. The little positive thing that you do, just associating something with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will put His barakah in it, and then massive things can happen. Massive positive things can happen through it. That's what barakah means. So ni'mah is just any blessing, but barakah, it's a whole another concept. Bonus multiplied by bonus multiplied by bonus multiplied by infinity. Yeah, that's barakah. Yes.
There's the toilet and then there's the bathroom where you're gonna make the wudu. So can you take care?
So I'll leave that up to you. Okay, you can say it in the beginning and then go ahead and do it. I don't necessarily agree, because back in the old days, not a bathroom, but a toilet was literally just toilet. It was filth. So you don't want to mention the name there. Our toilets, hopefully your toilet is not filth. I hope it's not filth. Inshallah. Right? It's clean. Okay. We have a flush, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, for technology. Anyway, so you can use your best common sense. If it makes you feel like you're disrespecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then don't do it. Do it in your heart. Is any time anyone not thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a good Muslim? No. You're going to be in the bathroom, you're going to think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So do it in your heart. Make sense? Because it's the heart that's most important, and not what comes out of your tongue.